good evening, everyone. We hope you are doing very well, and thank you very much for joining us today in today's worldview.
A special space to touch and complex use that afflict our society.
Today we are going to touch on a subject that I think we have all, although not directly, experience and the insecurity.
And recalling what insecurity is if defined as the distressing disturbance of mood that results from the difference between the perceived risk behind a victim of crimes and actual victimization. That is, the perception that a person has behind victims of crime.
Of course, in addition to the fact that insecurity itself is shaped by the individual or collective perception of crime.
The perception of insecurity is also defined as a feeling. In this reward, stand considered that it represents the individual feeling of danger, of having been physical abuse of criminal violence. That is, it refers to an experience related to crime. It is therefore considered quite subjective to a certain extent.
Well, I guess I can agree with you so much on that. Feeling yourself that no matter what the president doesn't take away the feelings or fear or and even trauma from the victims, no matter if it was the victim or a robbery or a rape.
I agree with you. What you mentioned is right. However, I also believe that Andre's point is true. Of course, the magnitude of some crimes is different to the eyes of us spectators who have not witnessed something like this so directly. But for the victims, it is very different. So, in question, I think that it would be something subjective.
Rewarding this reference to the experience of crime or victimi- victimization, it is important to point out the perception of crime is not exclusive, nor is it manifest only in those who have been victims of crime. Many people feel insecure and report feeling fear of being victims of crime.
Of course, I mean, and I give myself as an example. Fortunately, I have never been a victim of kidnapping or assault. However, I have a constant fear that this could happen, and I even take certain protective measures.
Especially for the situation that you come to know about through social networks. As an individual, you know perfectly well that there is not good system or of protection for society.
Yes, I totally agree with you. Sadly, the police system does not have, does not give enough importance to keeping the city safe.
And it is not a local problem, but on that affects the whole world. Of course, there are places where there is much more protection than in others, but even so, insecurity is still daily problems.
Of course, and even more unfortunately for Mexican societies, it is considered, especially our own, as a failed state in the breach of choice.
And it is true, in all cases, it is implied that the government loses control of the situation. Organized crime mafias take over the state, drug, corruption, and the population feel increasingly unprotected, loses confidence in the justice. In conclusion, insecurity is a several problem that affects the entire population. all over the world, and it is evident that anyone you ask will answer that they live in fear with insecurity.
This topic is really very boring, and it really makes me reflect on how we live day by day.
Yes. Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this time with us. We look forward to seeing you in the next session of today's Worldview. So, bye.
Bye.
Bye.